Hello, my name is Kobe Warner. This is koblizzy, and I am so happy to be back. As per usual, I'm going to begin with the song of the week, but I have a fun episode planned. Lots of hot topics, including, the VMAs were so good this year. I'm going to talk all about the VMAs. I'm going to talk about Olivia Rodrigo's new album, Guts. I'm going to talk about the new season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and so much more, so tune in. I'm also going to put the spoilers. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City at the very end of the episode. And so if you don't want to hear that part because you haven't watched the episodes yet, episodes 1 and 2, that's fine. But you can watch up until then. I'll let you know. Just stay on board. Don't mind me if you're watching the video. I'm putting on some lip balm. They're a little crusty, and I realized I didn't notice before I started. If you're watching the video, also look. I have a little bit of a scruff. It actually doesn't really look like it on the camera, but like in real life, I can't really grow facial hair. I don't think I have enough testosterone. I don't think I have enough. I seriously don't. I can't grow. It's like it'll grow like right by the sideburns. The sideburns get real wide and it'll grow on my jaw, but it won't grow on my cheek. On either side. It's like perfectly symmetrical, sparse. And then I get a little bit of like hair on my lip, but no mustache. And like on my chin, really where it grows hair is under my fucking neck. And that's where you don't need it, bitch. Ingrown hairs are a mug. When you have curly hair, the ingrown hairs are even worse. Like, ow. Anyway, the song of the week, damn, that was like a lot of information before I even got to the song of the week. Usually I just jump right into her. Oh, I'm breaking my footstool. That is just a plastic bin. I also have this. I just threw the fan. I was trying to thwart the fan and I did it backwards, so I dropped it. I have this Trixie and Katya fan that I got when I saw their tour. Did I talk about it on this podcast? Oh, you know what? I don't even think I had this podcast yet. I went to their tour in like April of 2022. And this tour, I think it was just called Trixie and Katya Live. It was so funny. Like, and it was budget. Like, Katya was like flying and shit. But it was like 3 hours long. They definitely gave you bang for your buck. I saw it in Cobb Energy Center, which is a place I've seen tons of shows. That's where Work the World was this past summer. Well, it's still summer, but like this, like in July, whenever it was. That's where Work the World. It was like June. No, Work the World was June. Anyway, it was like June 30th. Anyway, it's where Work the World was this year. I saw Trixie and Katya there last year. And their show was just so good. And it was so budget. It was so funny. Kelly Mantle was in the show playing their manager, who is a queen from season 6 of Drag Race. I think she went home first, actually, for that bacon, the dress that looked like bacon. But she's hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, this show was great. And I have this fan, as well as a Work the World fan. And that's all I have. I didn't buy a heated fan when I was at Beyonce's concert because the merch line was so long. I didn't want to wait in the line. And so I just ordered a t-shirt. She's like doing Amazon merch drops, like a tour merch drops on Amazon. And I don't think she sold the fan on there. It's like a in-person exclusive. But damn, I wanted that fan. But the only two I have are this Trixie and Katya one and the Work the World one that's kind of broken. And this one's like way older. Anyway, so Trixie and Katya have quality merch. Work the World, that shit's breaking. It was breaking like very quickly after I got it. I'll glue it back together, but like, what if I wasn't handy? What if I wasn't a handy day then? The song of the week. We're like 2 minutes in. I'm still 2 minutes. Probably presumptuous. It's probably like 5 minutes. The song of the week is "False Alarm" by The Weeknd. False alarm. Hey, false alarm. Like, I don't know why. This song is from Starboy, which is a record that came out in 2016. I was a freshman in high school, my second term of freshman year of high school. And I listened to like Die For You, which now has a remix with Ariana Grande that came out last year or this year, sometime recently. But the original song came out in 2016. Die For You, True Colors. Gonna tell me true colors. These are the questions of a new lover. True colors, true colors. And the Starboy, Star Girl interlude with Lana Del Rey. I'm like, there's I Feel It Coming with Daft Punk. I Feel It Coming. Yeah, like all those hits were on the record. I knew all those songs, obviously. But I went back to the album for some reason recently. I don't even know what made me think to do it. Ooh, and there was a song that me and my friends loved on spring break last year. Reminder. It's like the man playing a song on the radio. Busy to the blue eyes, so I let my black hair grow and my weed smoke. And I sweat too much on the regular. I gotta go. Hey, da da boo do da 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 da. I just won a new award at a kid show. Something talking about me, something off a bag of blow. She's like, goddamn bitch, I am not a teen show. It's just like a vibe. I don't know what it is about Reminder. That song is fire. Anyway, that was a song we didn't like until last year. I didn't know that song until last year. I never heard it. And then the other day, like last week, I listened to False Alarm and I was like, False Alarm! Hey. That's just like a song you want to go to the club. It was lit. And I also like, this ain't ordinary life. This ain't ordinary life. This ain't ordinary life. So I'm like, if you don't, the production on that one's fire too. If you don't know Starboy by The Weeknd, baby, that's one of his better albums. If you like pop The Weeknd, I really like that. I think that's one of his better pop records as of late. But he be putting out albums like Drake and like Nick Cannon makes babies. And so they, we're always going to have a new The Weeknd album. You can count on that. So yeah, those are the songs of the week. I know that's random, especially like with that whole The Idol thing. I didn't watch that show. I know it was super controversial. I saw some clips from it and I was like, ugh. And I was like, I do not need to watch those 6 episodes and be traumatized by that shit. So I did not watch it. But I do like some of The Weeknd's music, especially the older music. I also bought like the Don FM CD when it came out. And I will say I'm not huge on that album. I don't really know why I bought that CD. It's not my favorite of his. I should have bought Starboy. I like... what's that song? There's one song on Dawn FM that I really like, but I actually can't think of it right now. I can look, I guess. It's funny that I'm talking about The Weeknd. I really don't listen to, like, this is going to sound crazy. If you're a man, don't get offended. But I don't really listen to a lot of male musicians. I just really gravitate to female voices, and I like singers. And so when I'm listening to female singers, I just like the way a female voice sounds. And when I'm listening to rappers, I like what the women are talking about. And so it's just kind of, it's like women for me. And so I don't listen to a lot of guys. But I like The Weeknd. So I guess I'm toxic. I don't know. I like SZA too. That makes me toxic too, probably. Oh my god, Best Friends, the remix of Best Friends with Summer Walker, fire. What was the song that I was talking about? Oh, the Save Your Tears remix with Ariana Grande, also fire. Still not what I'm talking about though. Out of Time. That song was good from the Don FM. Anyway, moving on to so a couple of weeks ago, I didn't talk about this. I filmed like 2 episodes, I think, since I've met Jimbo, the winner of All Stars 8 of Drag Race, and I have not talked about it on the podcast, and I have pictures. So I went to the City Winery. There's this event company in Atlanta called Wussy Events, and they do drag shows at this bar called MSR, but they also do brunch ordinarily the next morning. So, the drag show will be Saturday night, and then the next morning they'll do brunch Sunday morning at City Winery. And so I didn't go to the drag show at MSR Saturday night, but I went to Jimbo's brunch Sunday morning, and I had a really good seat. I was like the first seat at the second table. And the tables were really close together, and they were like smushed up against the stage. It was packing people in that hose. So I was really close to Jimbo, and I got some fun videos. And I'm actually, just like I did with the Chloe Bailey concert, just like I did with the Beyonce concert, but I just like to post the concert videos or the show videos that I have onto TikTok when I talk about them on the podcast, so you can go watch them, but I can't put them in the podcast because I'll get copyright. So go watch them on my TikTok at koblizzy, just like everything else. Instagram at koblizzy, everything else is at koblizzy too. I'm koblizzy. Anyway, I met Jimbo, and I guess I can like edit the pictures in. Here you go. Oh, so cute. Don't we look cute? Jimbo, literally, I walked up to the walked up to Jimbo to meet them at the meet and greet. And they were like in the clown costume where they throw the baloney. You know what I mean? What pronouns is Jimbo? I guess he's a he, but I don't know. Something about that clown suit makes me want to call them a them. But anyway, when I met Jimbo, he literally was like, oh my God, here comes the model. And I was like, wait. Like, first I'm thinking, like, does this nigga know me? How do you know my job? I was like, I was so confused. And Jimbo was like, oh, you're just like really gorgeous and your body is right and da-da-da-da. And I was like, that was sweet. Anyway, so I was just excited. And when I met Georges, I'm not like nervous in those situations. You know how some people like, oh no, I want to talk, bitch. I'm trying to get my money's worth out of my time. You know what I mean? I'm trying to kiki. And so I will definitely talk. And so we just had a key and it was cute. And brunch was amazing. I love seeing the local queens in Atlanta perform as well. So it's always good to see them. And I love when they have a Drag Race girl come in. I actually got me and my mom tickets to go see a Taylor Swift drag brunch. So that's going to be so fun. And it's at City Winery. It's a brunch. And we have front row seats, baby. And so, yeah, I need to get my dollars, though. I always forget to go get dollars. And so I'll be up there, like, they put the Venmos on the wall, too, and I'll be trying to get people's Venmos so I can send them tips because I always forget dollars. But there's something, obviously, ceremonial about the handing of a drag queen a dollar, you know? So I got to go get some dollars for the Taylor Swift brunch. But anyway, so, yeah, I got to meet Jimbo. You saw the pictures. You know it's true. Thank you, Wussy. Thank you, City Winery. The show was amazing. And oh my God, I also took a selfie with Nicole Page Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia. And she is an icon. She was so funny. She was also in the drag brunch when Jimbo was there. That shit was fucking just hilarious. Nicole Page Brooks is funny, and I took a selfie with her. Here you go. So yeah, don't you love that? And it wasn't a selfie. I don't know why I said selfie, but Nicole Page Brooks, love you, bitch. I want her to be my drag mother. I kind of want to do drag. Like, I know honestly, you guys, if you know me in real life, you've been hearing me say I want to do drag since 2020, since the pandemic started. I was like, damn, I want to be a drag queen. And if you've been listening to this podcast, I don't know how many times I've said that I want to be a drag queen. I think I talked about it in like the third or fourth episode. And I made a whole episode called The Art of Drag about how much I love drag. I just love drag. I love drag queens. But that shit is hard. You know how when they say, oh, people, you don't do it so you don't know it? I'm like drag adjacent. I know a lot about drag. I know a lot about the mechanics. I'm starting to get more familiar with the local scene, but I've done a lot of research. I know a lot about drag. And so I know how difficult and uncomfortable it is. I also played like Angel and Rent, so I was kind of in like, as Derek Barry said on season 8 of Drag Race to Bob the Drag Queen, ratchet drag. I was in ratchet drag when I did Angel. Obviously, if you know Rent, she got AIDS. Like, she's not balling on Shea Coulee budget. I don't know what made me think of Shea Coulee. She's not budging on. She not she ain't on RuPaul budget, baby. Is what I was trying to say. But I started ba-beep, ba-bop, ba-boop, boop, boop. Speaking of that, Nicki Minaj is so funny. Like, she will just say shit. More on that later. Just like Doja Cat. I'm gonna talk about the VMAs, but Nicki Minaj is funny, and her performance was pretty iconic, if I do say so myself. But again, I'll get there. So what was I even talking about? I love how I just forget. Nicole Page Brooks and wanting to do drag. Yeah, I just want to do drag. And it was great to meet Nicole Page Brooks. It was great to meet Jimbo. Met them both in one night. And I met Georgia. So that's 3 Drag Race girls I have 3 stones. I'm like Thanos. I'm like, I want to meet all the Drag Race girls. I want to meet all my favorites. I was going to see Jada Essence Hall through one of the Wussy events also, and I had a meet and greet ticket. But not only was I out of town for a job that weekend, I ended up being out of town, but she also canceled the show, and Jujubee came at her place, so I could have went and met Jujubee, but I was, like I said, out of town, so I didn't even use my ticket. So I don't know why. Oh, so that could have been 2 more or 1 more that I could have met, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. I was working. I made more money than I paid for that $35 ticket. You know what I mean? So it's like, also, by the way, not very expensive to meet the girls. I'm just saying, like, if you want to meet them, you should really look into it. It's worth it. I'm like, I love these pics. Like, to me, I love a picture. Oh, and I met Bob and Monet last year. Why did I forget about that? I literally had a meet and greet with my mom with Bob and Monet. And I also had met Bob on Zoom before, but Zoom's not real. So I met Bob in person with Monet at their sibling rivalry tour before they canceled it so Bob could go on tour with Madonna, which subsequently got canceled because Madonna had a health scare. So then they're starting it late and they're rescheduling the dates. But anyway, Bob canceled the sibling rivalry podcast tour. But before it was canceled, they came to Atlanta and it was cunty and I got to meet them. So I have pictures of that too. Here you go. I'm just unloading you with all my Drag Race queen pictures today. Have you seen my picture with Georges? It's on my Instagram, but if you haven't seen it, here you go. I don't know why I'm making myself edit this much. I'm like Trisha Paytas. I don't like to edit. Speaking of Trisha Paytas, I'm really enjoying Just Trish, her new podcast that she made after Colleen Ballinger sent her nudes around. So I don't know what you say when an adult sends around a sex worker's nudes to talk about them. With grown people and with children, allegedly. The grown people part was proven. The children part is allegedly. At least that's what Trish said yesterday. I'm saying allegedly too. Don't come for me. I'm not getting sued. But anyway, I'm just liking Trish's podcast. She had Tana on the other day. It was a great episode. She had Psyconic, who plays Terry Joe on TikTok, who is so funny. I was watching her live last night before I went to bed, and I was sitting in my bed cracking my shit up. First of all, she has 22,000 people watching her at like 12:30 a.m. And oh my God, she's funny. I was just laughing my ass. That she is so funny. And so yeah, I loved her on the podcast, Just Trish. And Trish, yeah, it's a good show, and I'm happy she's finally like found a niche. She's like, oh, I can just do it myself, you know, I don't need anybody else, and I can bring on guests, and that's like that's a more fun way to do it. And I love a podcast, you know that. And I've actually never had any guests. I keep saying I'm gonna have some soon, and it's true. I don't know when I'm gonna finally introduce. I would do it for like a season premiere, but I don't really got a season. I'm on episode 48. And it's season 1. Like, I'm like, when do I stop? Like, when does a new season begin? Like, when do I get a new cover? You know, like, what? I ain't got no structure because I just talk about shit. I'm like a cockroach of pop topics and life anecdotes that don't really mean nothing to nobody. But if you like them, you like them. So, hey, y'all. Anyway, I have been on such a long tangent, and I am so completely and totally not on my notes. So, let me get back to them, baby. The first thing I'm going to talk about is Olivia Rodrigo's sophomore album, Guts. I like it. I think it is a strong... they always say, like, your second album, if you have a really successful first album, the second album, there's like a curse. And some people can't really follow up. And some people will follow up and they'll kind of do the same thing because they had a hit and they don't want to change. But you have to show artistic growth while somehow still making something that's not too different so people like it and they know you because you're still new. So they're not really familiar enough with you to be changing shit up. So you got to do something that's kind of familiar but still pushing the boundaries, or they'll say that you're stagnant. And it's like, it's kind of like like I put out an EP of 4 songs and it's taken me quite literally a year and a half to get new music to put out, because I'm like, what do I do now? And I'm like, I don't know how I would feel if I had Driver's License and Deja Vu and the other single that Good For You, you look happy and healthy. And her first album was just really incredible. Favorite Crime, Traitor, like these are songs that like break my heart. Like she really captured teenage like sadness. And with this second album, it feels like she's capturing teenage angst. And I think she's 20 now, so she's not a teenager anymore. But she was probably making this album when she was still 19, maybe 18 too. I don't remember when she turned 18. But Guts is good. I don't know. Some people are like talking about it. It's hard for me to buy into online stuff because the Stan shit like gets on my nerves so bad now. And like Twitter, like I really have to avoid the Stan, like to a degree. I have to avoid Stan tweets and like stuff because like people piss me off. I will get so mad in there. I'm ready to like fight with somebody on Twitter. I'm like, you cannot do that. Like calm down, backspace. And like I can't, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, it makes me mad because like what people just say shit. And it's like you think you can get away with just because you're hiding behind an iPhone or a keyboard or whoever. Like that shit pisses me off. Like I'm like they fighting words. People would never breathe some of the stuff they say online in real life because they would get their ass beat by somebody. I'm not a fighter. I don't fight. That's not what I'm saying. Just for the record. But I'm saying somebody would beat their ass if they was talking to them like they were talking to them on the internet. That's why I just gotta stay out of it because y'all don't piss me off, you know. Anyway, so back to Guts. I'm gonna talk about my favorite songs. I'm gonna talk about the music video for Get Him Back. I'm also gonna talk about her live performance on the VMAs. And I'm going to talk about how much I love her first record, Sour. And that's what I'm going to talk about before we get into the VMAs. So I'll talk about her performance last. That will transition us in. I don't know why I'm telling you this. These should be internal thoughts for smoothness. But now I just gave you my whole game plan. I guess I'm just, I don't know, reminding myself of my notes. So let me pull up the album. I need the track list. I really love Made the Bed. Making the Bed. That's my favorite. Like right now, I always say this, like, that's my favorite right now. And I mean that because I'm so fickle. Like I'll even say this, like the other day I tried to I have to eat protein bar. I'm a vegan. So I have to eat protein bars and like protein smoothies and shit to get my protein so my hair doesn't fall out, you know? And so I was eating a protein bar and I used to eat peanut butter all the time, like a peanut butter protein bar. And I bit into this one the other day and I literally involuntarily gagged. I had to spit this shit out immediately. It was so gross to me. And I said to my mom, I don't like that right now. I'm fickle. I change my mind. I've always been that way. I used to try to be like, oh, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm embracing it. It's who I am. Making the bed is my favorite right now. I'm really like in a tangent mood today. I'm really in an off-topic mood today. I need to get this viewfinder off so I'll stop looking directly at myself. I know that I've been taping for 15, 20 minutes or whatever, and I've been looking at myself the whole time. And I'm so sorry. I've not been looking at the lens. I've been looking right in the viewfinder. And you know what? I'm not starting over. So if you're still here, I'll look at you now. I'm so sorry. I'm doing it. And if you're not watching the video, you don't care. So let me get on with guts. And let me pull up the track list. So, All American Bitch, first of all, is now being compared to not See You Again. What's the song called? It's a Miley Cyrus song. Oh, shit, no, I forgot. Hold on. Miley Cyrus. I love Miley Cyrus, for the record. I just can't remember the name of this old ass song. What album was it on? Well, now I can't even find what I'm talking about. Like, what is going on? Miley Cyrus. What's the song it's being compared to? Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. I know you're yelling through the camera right now. So you know what I'm talking about. Moving on. I listened to it the other day and watched the music video. I don't know why I'm blanking on that and not anything else. But anyways, it's being compared to this song. All I gotta say about that is, who cares? First of all, Miley Cyrus doesn't even own this song. She did not write it. She would not even be the one suing. It would be the Disney or the songwriters for Disney. Like, that's the only people that would be having a lawsuit about this, because Miley Cyrus was 14 years old singing a song that was put in her hands. First of all, nobody cares that it sounds like the chorus. We were all listening to this music growing up and we're inspired by it. I don't even think it sounds that similar, just like I don't think Deja Vu sounds like Cruel Summer. Like, I love Taylor Swift. Hello, do you see my sweatshirt? But she didn't invent yelling. Now everything is so brand new. Like, just because she yelled in Cruel Summer and said that she was inspired by Taylor Swift, I don't think that means that Taylor Swift should be given writing credits on the song. Or like, I don't even think that makes sense. I think that's like, she's like, oh, I referenced Taylor Swift by yelling. You know what I mean? Like, okay. However, they did say Good For You sounded like that Paramore song. And that one's a little less debatable. I feel like it does sound like the song. But again, I mean, there's only so many chords. There's only so many chord progressions. I just feel like we're just going to get dicey with this shit. Like, I know they didn't sue or anything. Like, they just settled and she just gave them the credit. But I know I don't know, all these copyright lawsuits and the Marvin Gaye estate. And, like, I just feel like this shit is, like, out of hand. Like, guys, like Ed Sheeran getting sued. It's just, like, calm down, everybody. There's like 8 notes on the piano that in the musical alphabet. And there's, like, 6, 7 keys in between those. 6, I don't know exactly, but I'm like, there's 8 white keys and there's some black keys in between them, and y'all are really trying to act like we can be that I'm like, we are creative. There's obviously a gazillion billion million songs all made out of these same chord progressions, but you're gonna sue somebody over a chord progression? Please get real. That's all I'm saying. Please get real. Anyway, so I'm not buying into the controversy. As far as the music video for Get Him Back, well, first of all, that's the only one I watched. Was there another music video? I watched Vampire, obviously. But Get Him Back, it was like one of those Apple partnerships. So it's like made on iPhone music video. And I saw this tweet that was funny. It's like, it's kind of ridiculous. They're being like made on iPhone. And then they have like $500,000 of other equipment. They had this one tripod that can sustain up to like 150 kilograms of weight. I don't even know how much weight that is in pounds. And it's like $20,000, and they had the iPhone on it. I'm like, so they spent a lot of money on the music video and they just filmed it on an iPhone. So I did think that was funny. But then somebody else made a good point. That was like, the quality is of iPhone, which means made on iPhone. Like, anybody can light, I guess. But they did put a lot of money behind the made on iPhone video. And the editing was great, though. That's what I really liked about it. And I think the song's clever. I like how she kind of talks the verses. I think, like I said, she's pushing boundaries, but she's still familiar. She has not changed up her hairstyle once. Her hairstyle has never changed. And I just feel like she's just familiar enough, you know? I feel like Olivia Rodrigo, despite everything that she's, you know, the turbulence of her career and all the controversy regarding the love triangle and I don't know, the whole Taylor Swift alleged falling out. Like, we don't even believe that to be true. Like, you guys, we don't know these people, so I don't know why you'd be like, oh, falling out, falling out. I just think she stopped talking about Taylor Swift so publicly, because every time she did that, everybody would be like, oh, you're clout chasing. Oh, you don't really like her. Oh, you're just a fake fan. And so she stops talking about her, and then everybody's like, oh, why aren't you talking about Taylor Swift anymore? You had a falling out over songwriting credits. And I'm like, yeah, maybe the Cruel Summer Deja Vu was like a thing, but also they're rich people. Taylor Swift is exuberantly wealthy. And Olivia Rodrigo probably ain't hurting, y'all. She's probably not hurting. She's the only person to have all 6 of her first singles chart within the top 10 of the Billboard 100. I don't think she's hurting for money or for cash. I think she sells fine. I think she sold like 300,000 copies of her album. I'm sure she's recouping on her deals with her record label fine, and I'm sure she's making a nice paycheck. I'm sure she's going to make a lot of money off this tour she just announced. I will say I'm not going. I am saving my ticket money for the tour that I think Beyonce is going to announce. There are rumors online that it's called the Black Betty Tour. I really hope it's true. I really hope it's a country album or a rock album or a country rock album or a country rock hybrid album, and there's both, or it can be anything. Beyonce, I'm showing up for you, and I got my money saved. I got my coins this time. Because even though I had a good seat for Renaissance, I was in the 4th row of the 100s. I was seat number 1. I've said that 100 times because it was a good seat. But baby, next time I'm going to be next to the stage. Beyonce, I want to be able to lick her. I want to be able to chew her fingernails. I want her to be right in front of me. Beyonce, I'll see you next time, girl, at the Black Betty Tour. Manifesting. I was looking at the clock to see if it was an angel number. It's not, but that's okay. Manifestation still has power. But you know how I always look at the clock and there's an angel number? If you listen to the show, you know. Anyway, Guts. Back to Guts. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place today. I was checking to see if there was another music video besides Vampire and Get Him Back. And I don't think there is. There's a live performance video. Oh, Bad Idea Right has a music video. And I watched that one too. I just forgot. I like that song. There's a live performance for All American Bitch. I think the song's fine. That's the video that kind of went viral because she was screaming like this. Sound warning. She was like, ah! Ah! And some people in the rock world were like, that's a very clean scream. And I think what they mean by clean scream is there was no like, ah! There was no like grit in the scream. You know, she's like, ah! I'm a perfect all-American bitch. Ah! I did think it was a little funny too. But like I said, I like her album. I think she is doing the thing. I think her team's going about it the right way for the most part. And I think she's on the rise. I don't think she's going anywhere. I think this album proves that she has the ability to grow, and she's only going to grow more with age. I mean, she's a young person. She's a year younger than me, and I'm young. And she's doing a lot. She's doing a lot. So I'm like, girl, yeah, you know, do your thing. So I'm going to talk about my favorite songs, and then I'm going to talk about her VMAs performance. So my favorite songs from the record, besides Making the Bed, are... That was a really strange noise. I like Bad Idea Right. I like Vampire. I like Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. I like Making the Bed. I like Logical. I like Get Him Back. I love Love is Embarrassing. I really enjoy that song. I like The Grudge. And I like Pretty Isn't Pretty and Teenage Dream. That's essentially the whole track list. The one song I really wasn't feeling, well, actually, I'm not going to say it. I like most of the songs. That's what I'll say. As for her VMAs performance, I respect that she sang live because basically nobody did. I mean, very few people's microphones were on at the VMAs performance. And while I enjoyed the show immensely and much more than I've enjoyed really any award show in the past couple of years, I will say it was much more interesting than any award show I've watched recently. Nobody's mic was on. Well, not nobody, but most people's mic was not on, and or if their mic was on, their track was very loud. I will just say that. So, Olivia Rodrigo was definitely singing live. It sounded very live, and that I respect. And her performance, I love how they simulated the Vampire music video by having the set like crash and break. I really enjoy the Vampire music video. I think that's the best one so far for this album. And it was the first, and I think it's really great. So yeah, they simulated that in the performance, and then she did Get Him Back, you know, because she had this other music video coming out, and the choreography was cute. They had her dancing, and I was like, okay, this is, again, growth, more than we've seen from her. You guys, that's all we can ask for. It's been 2 years since she put out her first album. Did you think she was going to come back a different superstar? She's a person just like the rest of us, and she has to grow and she has to practice. She has to learn, and I think she's doing a great job. And I'm happy, like I said, that she sang live because a lot of people did not. Moving on to the VMAs, let's talk about it. So the first thing I want to talk about, I'm not really going to talk about the red carpet because I didn't watch it. I did watch the entirety of the actual show though, and Nicki Minaj, it started out kind of interestingly, actually. It didn't start with Nicki. It started with 2 performances. And I actually don't remember. Oh, it started with, who did it start with? Like NLE Chop. Who did it start with? Or Lil Wayne. Maybe it started with Lil Wayne, and then it went to Olivia Rodrigo. And then Nicki Minaj came out to like introduce the show because she was hosting, right? And they're like, Nicki Minaj. And then a full 45 seconds goes by and nothing happens. And then she comes walking out, and she eventually said that her shoe was unbuckled. So I imagine that somebody was probably buckling her shoe. But then the entire time she was talking, she had this like veil on her head from the red carpet, and it was like slipping back. And they probably didn't notice that it was slipping back because they were too busy fixing her shoe. And so the whole time she's like struggling to, you can't see her face at all because it's eclipsing her face. And she's like trying to pull this veil down. It was just very funny to me. But Nicki Minaj is hilarious. There was one moment she was like, the audience was just really loud. She was trying to say something. She was like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. She's like, oh, okay, shut the fuck up. It was so funny. You've probably seen it on TikTok. It's so, but shut the fuck up. And they bleeped it, obviously. But the way she said it was, I'm like, she's funny. She's hilarious. Her performance, I'll talk about that now, just to like, some sort of theme here. I really liked her performance. She did The Last Time That I Saw You. And it's not her first time singing. She's been singing for years on a lot of her older music. But this song is different. It's like a pop track. It's like a pop track. I'm not saying she hasn't done a pop track before, but this one's just like a different kind of pop. It's like a chill pop. It's like very much kind of a niche pop track. And obviously there are rap verses, but the singing, and I respect it. Her mic was on. I think she had a track, but she was singing. She was singing. And then after she got done, with The Last Time That I Saw You, she gave a sneak preview from her upcoming album, Pink Friday 2. Which is super exciting, and it was super exciting. Do you think I could play a clip without getting copyrighted because it ain't came out yet? Is that possible? Probably not. Let me not even play Nicki Minaj. Let me not try the queen. I just really liked it. I'm not like you and you and you. It was just really, it was like a funny thing. I think, so I read on Twitter that that's probably not going to be a single. The song that she did is going to be like an album track or something, but whatever it was, I was feeling it. I'm like, okay, I'm excited for Pink Friday 2. Especially because I'm like, Last Time That I Saw You on the same album as this track, I just feel like it's going to be like an interesting conglomeration of lots of different types of vibes, genres, So yeah, Pink Friday 2, excited. Her performance was great. And one thing I will say is that she was the host. But she really, she was on stage a lot because she performed. She did that opening monologue that I talked about. She won an award, gave an acceptance speech. She presented an award, and then she did the hip hop. She was in the hip hop 50 years of hip hop performance. She did Rev Ruby Sleaze and. I actually can't remember the other song. She did another song too, and she was in that performance as well. And then she presented an award also. If I didn't say that, she presented one award. If I said it, my bad. But she did it once. And then she had like a closing monologue, I guess, like a bye, or maybe that was when she presented the award. I really know. But my point is like while she was on stage a lot because of all those things happening. As the host, I feel like she didn't do a lot of hosting. They had like a robot AI voice that was announcing everything. I feel like she wasn't out there like, oh, this and that. She did, like I said, she was a huge presence throughout the award show for, probably host reasons. But it was a very like a kind of untraditional way of hosting an award show because they didn't have her doing a lot of talking like a host ordinarily would. You know what I mean? And I wonder why that is. That's not anything about Nicki. That's just a fact about the award show, and that's just kind of the format. There's a robot voice announcing everything. It was like Olivia Rodrigo, Vampire. Midnights by Taylor Swift. And there was one, it was saying some name really funny. I don't remember what it was, like Anita. There was some name, it was just saying Carol G. Like the robot. Who else was there? I'm trying to look on the wall and see what. Lady Gaga. She wasn't there. I did not say her name. Miley Cyrus. Can you hear my stomach growling? I got blood work done this morning. And it was like fasting. I'm a vegan. I said that already. I'm not one of those obnoxious vegans who says a lot, I promise. Both reasons that I said it in this episode, I had a reason to. Got my blood work done because, protein, iron, B12, various things you can lack when you don't eat meat. And so I get my blood work done a lot just to check my vital levels and my vegan deficiencies. And I also have a blood disorder, and so we like to, make sure everything's in check. Because we take blood product medicine and all kinds of other stuff. But anyway, so there's a reason for me to get blood work. I got blood work done this morning. It's the kind you have to fast for. That shit pisses me off. Because when I'm hungry, I'm not hungry, I'm hangry. And you don't meet Kobe, you meet Coco. And Coco is not a happy camper. Coco is a hungry bitch who wants some food. And so literally, and I went with my mom. She had an appointment too, because we go to the same doctor. And she was just doing so much talking. I was like, Mom, please hurry up. I'm hungry. And when I sat down, I was like, yep, yeah, okay. Take this vitamin. All right, cool. Blood work. Okay. All right, let's go. Like, I'm just like, okay, cool. Thanks. Awesome. Amazing. One word responses. Like, I'm ready to go. Anyway, so that's why I'm hungry. If you hear my stomach growling, like ASMR, I don't even know if you could, but I can hear it and I can feel it. I am starving. Because then after the appointment, me and my mom went to Chipotle. And when I got the Chipotle, I just wasn't really feeling it. Like, I was eating it. It's kind of making my stomach hurt. And I'm like, damn, I'm starving, but this food's not really what I'm feeling. So, like, what am I going to eat? And I haven't really eaten much since. I had, like, a little protein bar when I got home. But I had to do this because if I don't do this early, then I get tired and then I can't talk. So do I eat or do I tape? I chose tape. So I'm not glorifying not eating. Please eat your food. But I'm about to grub when I get off this thing. That's all I'm saying. And if you hear my stomach growling, that's why. Also, I kind of got to pee, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Back to this bitch who had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Miley, what's good? Miss Nicki Minaj. All I was saying is that I just feel like she was a part of the award show as much as she should have been as the host. What else am I supposed to talk about? Oh, the cameras were continuously panning to Taylor Swift. Award shows do have a tendency to like put the cameras on Taylor Swift because she'll be up and she'll be dancing and she does like these like, if you're watching the video, she'll just be like, she just dances and she knows the words to the pop songs. And when Lil Wayne was performing, she was like a milli, and she was moving her head on beat. And I'm like, okay, Taylor Swift gets ghetto. Speaking of Tamara and Tia, I was talking about them last week. I get ghetto. Tamara said that one time on The Real. She's so funny for that. And you know who else gets ghetto? Who was I just talking about? Oh, Taylor Swift. Damn. The ADHD so bad, I don't even remember the lady name who on my shirt. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, the camera was continuously panning to her. It was like getting to a level, I'm like, damn, she probably getting tired of having this camera in her face. It was kind of obnoxious. She was also drunk as hell. It was obvious. And then I saw this one thing on Twitter earlier where her publicist Tree was taking a cup away from her that looked like a dark cup, probably alcohol, and was handing her a cup of clear liquid that was probably water. And the assumption was that Tree was taking away her drink and giving her water. That shit was funny because Taylor seemed drunk as hell. And she also won literally every award ever. She won 9 awards last night. I don't know how many she was nominated for, but if it was more than 9, that's crazy. But it probably was 9, and she probably just won every category she was in because she won for Best Director because she directs her own music videos. She won, did she win Album of the Year? I think she won Album of the Year. She won Song of the Year for Antihero. She's won everything. And I guess it's because I just dropped that fan out of fear because I thought I saw a bug. I'm crazy. I really am scared of bugs, y'all. I'm not just saying that. She truly, I heard a noise. She truly won every award. Like, she won everything. I just think that is like crazy. And I guess, like I said, fans voted. Her fans are huge. Her fan base is huge, rather. And so I guess maybe that's it. But I'm like, damn, she won 9 awards. There's a picture of her holding all the awards. And I was like, this is crazy. It was crazy. Or not holding them. She couldn't fit them on her arm. She had them holding a couple and sitting in front of her. Anyway, the camera kept panning to her. Ice Spice was sitting by her a lot, which was super cute. I love Ice Spice. She won Best New Artist. So good for Ice Spice. Loved that. Taylor's award show energy is amazing. She is like so upbeat, but especially at the VMAs this year, she was like singing Heart Attack. When Demi Lovato reposted Taylor on their story for singing Heart Attack and for singing Cruel for the Summer, in anticipation of Demi's new rock revamped album of all of their previous hits. That's going to be a lot of fun. I like Demi Lovato's music, and I am excited. I really love some of their older music, and I'm excited to hear some of those songs we recorded. Tell me you love me. I need someone on days like this. I do. I love that song. Sorry to just like burst out in song mid-sentence like a musical theater kid. Like the musical theater kid I am. Anyway, Taylor's award show energy is fabulous. She is so much fun to watch. But it was getting a little ridiculous, like I said, because I'm like, damn, I like watching her, but she's probably getting sick of trying to have fun with this camera in her face. She also like blew a kiss at Måneskin, the guy, the hot guy, Domino, whatever his name is, David Domino. Oh my goodness, my mic has been like barely plugged in this whole time. I hope it's been recording right. Wouldn't that be bad? Because I know I've been talking for a full 40 minutes probably. Damn, I hope it sounds right. That kind of just gave me anxiety. Like, that would piss me off so bad because I have to tape this. I have to post this episode tomorrow. Okay, moving on. Just fingers crossing that shit. I'll watch it back when I'm editing. What else do I want to talk about? Shakira was really doing great in her. She won the Video Vanguard. Her dancing performance was amazing. Incredible dancing. She is a great performer. Because that mic was not on. I'm sorry. Don't come for me. I love Shakira. She has major hits that I know. I'm sure that the music I don't know is even more fabulous. She's a fantastic performer. She's a beautiful woman. But her microphone at the VMAs last night was not on. Her performance, however, was fantastic. The production value was amazing. The dancing was amazing. The mic was off. Renee Rapp. Oh my god. So Renee Rapp, put out her first album, Snow Angel. I talked about it when it came out a couple weeks ago. And she was one of the push performers or play pause performers, some shit. I don't know. She's one of the people that was like, they give them a short performance segment. But this year they gave them 2. And so she got to sing Too Well, which is from her debut EP, Everything to Everyone. And then she also sang Pretty Girls, which is from her new album, Snow Angel. And she sang like a shortened version of both of those songs. Probably like 90 seconds, 2 minutes. It was a lot of fun. I really liked seeing Renee on the stage. And her mic was on. That's why I brought her up. She was singing. She sounded fantastic, by the way. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion did Bongos, their new song, at the VMA. It was like the TV debut, like the very first performance ever. And it was a good performance. I really liked it overall. I really liked Cardi B's hair. I really liked the production value. Their mics were on, but the tracks were so loud. And I get it. Cardi B was doing a lot of dancing in this case. I mean, and I guess Shakira was doing a lot of dancing too, but Cardi B was like, the choreography was like, the way she was performing is so intense. I imagine it would have really obstructed her ability to rap, but the track was really loud. And so I know she was like, her mic was on, but it was quiet. And Megan, it felt like Megan's was pretty live. And the track was there, obviously. And like, I'm not saying people don't perform with the track, including myself. Sometimes you perform with the track. Sometimes the songs upbeat. Like, personally, I don't like singing fast songs. I like to sing slow songs. So when a song is fast, can I get a little bit of a track, please? So I can get a guide. Like, I don't know. Sometimes when we move in a little bit too much, like, I love to listen to a fast song, but to sing a fast song, it's not always in my fantasy. So if I have like background vocals or like a second comp or something, I like to have it in my ear a little bit, or like in the track a little bit if there's no, in-ear monitor or whatever it may be. I want to hear myself a little bit, please. Like a little bit. I need a little bit of love, a little bit of something, especially for the fast songs. With the dancing also, I gotta be honest, I need support. I'm trying to get in better performing shape, but damn, that shit is hard. Like to pop and lock and jive and jiggy, and you trying to sing a fast song that actually is like hard. It's like, damn, okay. I'm telling you, it's really a talent to do that, which I understand why people lip sync, but I understand that some people also do not lip sync most of the time. Lady Gaga says she never lip syncs. Pink does all that silk shit and says she never lip syncs. Beyonce doesn't lip sync most of the time. I love you, mother. And I feel like she's more cautious about lip syncing ever since that whole inauguration debacle where she was singing with the track, but then everybody tried to say she was singing, lip syncing, which she said she was singing with the track, which that means you're singing with the track. But they were like, oh, she's lip syncing, which is not the same thing. She was singing with a track. Anyway, so then she sang the national anthem very live the next week, or very soon after that at the Super Bowl, because she was doing the Super Bowl performance at the press conference. She sang the national anthem live and aloud because of that controversy. So she proved she could do it. And obviously, Beyonce can sing. I'm just saying there have been instances of lip syncing, but people like Lady Gaga, Pink say they never lip sync. I couldn't really tell if Taylor lip synced at all at the Eras tour. Most of it felt very live. Sometimes you couldn't really tell. But also, I was in the nosebleeds. I was not in a good seat. But I will be next year in New Orleans in October. Very excited to see her on the floor. Seeing the same tour, like I said a couple of weeks ago or last week, at 20 the first time and at 22 the second time. What else about the VMAs? The whole show was entertaining overall. There was a lot of Latino performer inclusion, which is amazing. A lot of Brazil. I heard them say Brazil a lot. Mexico, Colombia. Selena Gomez and Remy won. And she said a shout out to Nigeria, so I assume he's Nigerian. They won an award for Afrobeats. It's kind of weird seeing Selena Gomez accept a song for and a VMA for Afrobeats, but I understand that she was on an Afrobeat song, but it was still like, okay. But she was with the guy, who is of the Afrobeat genre. Obviously, she is just a guest. But she kind of went viral for making this face when Chris Brown was mentioned. If you're watching the video, she went. Chloe has a song with Chris Brown that I actually really like. I'm not a Chris Brown fan either, I must be honest, but I really like How Does It Feel? It's on Chloe's album In Pieces. And so I know the song, and I heard her sing it live alone. But it's a song that I really enjoy, but it was nominated for an R&B VMA. Anyway, Selena Gomez was like, she made a face. And she also looked really bored throughout a lot of the award show. I'm not going to speculate about that. But regarding the Chris Brown situation, she commented on an Instagram post, who cares? LOL. So that's how she feels. I think, Taylor Swift, her acceptance speeches were really cute. I enjoyed seeing her, and also she was drunk. And so watching her interact with people and like dance around was so funny. She was very obviously having a good time. Billy Porter's announcement of Nicki Minaj's performance was a lot of fun. He gave her a really fun intro, although I did not like his hair. What else should I talk about? I don't know. Saweetie was so funny. She was stuttering on the red carpet. Like, there's a video that went kind of viral because she was stuttering. And then when she was talking during the award show, she said, I saw y'all making my little stuttering video go viral. Stop it. And then she read the teleprompter just fine. So, hey, she got her lick back. I think that's all I'm going to talk about for the VMAs. I'm getting tired and I'm really hungry. So I'm going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So if you have not seen the first or second episode and you're going to watch them and you don't want me to spoil it, stop watching right now. However, if you're not watching the show and you're never going to, you should keep listening because this is fun. So regarding the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the episode 1 intro right off the bat was so fantastic. It was like cinematic. And they were like doing these voiceovers, and it was like they were saying Bible verses and shit. And I'm like, this is kind of crazy. There's a lot of Mormons on this show if you don't know. But that doesn't mean what you think it means. They are all very much drinking and eating food they shouldn't eat, drinking coffee and caffeine and soda and all this shit they shouldn't do. They're very regular people, and some of them claim to be Mormon. There's also another like a different kind of Christian lady on there named Mary, who's married to her step-grandfather. And so they're not related by blood, just to be clear. Step-grandfather, but step-grandfather. Her grandma died and she married her husband. So that's part of it. Yeah, and they're fun and they do stuff. Anyway, one of the people from the first 3 seasons went to jail for fraud. She was defrauding elderly people. This show is crazy. Now that I'm talking about it out loud, I'm like, fuck. She was defrauding elderly people. And that's not funny at all, but I'm just saying the show is crazy. She was defrauding elderly people and widows and old veterans and people out of their money by scamming them through phone scams and computer scams and charging huge charges to their credit cards and stealing their savings. And the FBI was investigating her for 9 years, from like 2012 until she was arrested in like 2021. And she went on TV. She had been doing that scam for like 6 years and then started a TV show. Like went on a TV show, which is crazy. She was really bold to think she wouldn't get caught. But anyway, she was on the first 3 seasons. And on this season, they had to replace her, obviously, because she's now in prison. I don't think I said that, but she's in jail. She is, in fact, in prison. And they replaced her with somebody who used to be one of her assistants, who was a person that communicated with her contact in the FBI to help get Jen arrested and convicted. I'm shaking the camera. My bad. But isn't that crazy? The Housewives producers are so petty. Casted somebody who was an assistant of somebody they helped put in prison. And anyway, yeah, so that's just crazy. The dynamics of the show are so funny. I want to talk about how much I love Lisa Barlow. She is an icon. Her tagline this season is, I want to think more about Lisa. And I love that for me. Or my first priority is Lisa. And I love that for me. Something like that. That shit is iconic. Like, she ate that up so bad. And I wish I would have thought of it first. You know what I mean? I am my first priority. My first priority is Kobe. And I love that for me. Like, she ate that so bad. If you just sub your name in there. Ate down. Like, Lisa Barlow, I love you. And she's gone viral a couple times because she's saying, away in a manger, no crib for a bed. That's how she sings. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The sun and this, I don't know the words, but that's how she sings. She's very funny. And she made up a song the other day, and she's like, fall is coming, it's getting cold. So get your coats and get your drinks and get your hot cocoa and get your scarf. And fall is coming soon. Like, she was singing like that was not the song, but like that's how she was singing. I'm like, she's funny as hell. I love her. She is really an icon and a legend, and she is the moment. Speaking of Wendy Williams, I hope she's doing well. I miss her every day. I swear to God, ever since watching her documentary about how bad, like, it was a couple years ago, and it was just like how badly her situation with her husband was, and her health. It just makes me really like concerned for her. I think about her a lot because she's supposed to have a podcast. I've mentioned this before, and then it got canceled before it ever started. She was like selling merch and shit, and then she was like, "Oh, it's not coming back." And I was like, "Damn, where's the Wendy experience?" So I think that means she's may not be doing well. So I hope, I don't know. Love and light to Wendy Williams. I love you, mother. I watch videos of you on TikTok from your Wendy show every single day. Like, literally, you are the funniest person I've ever heard speak. You are hilarious. And you are shaped like a capital P, but we love you for it. At least I do. So yeah, that's kind of all I'm going to say. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is a good time. It was really funny. And they went to Trixie Motel in the second episode which is Trixie Motel's Motel in Palm Springs. It's also a TV show aptly titled Trixie Motel, featuring Trixie Motel. It's on HBO, Max. And it's getting a second season. Fuck, I can't talk anymore. Like, Trixie Motel is getting a second season. It was on the second episode of Real Housewives. I am so hungry. I hope you can understand. I really have not eaten all day. It's almost 3:00. I cannot say anything else. I can't bear to do it. I have to go get something to eat. I hope you love this episode of Koblizzy. I will see you next week. That is a promise, talking about so many fun things from my life, from the world, from celebrity culture, from music to movies. Yeah, but I can't do it anymore right now. So this is goodbye. This is until next time. This is see you later. This was Koblizzy.